He said, hello. Ooh, he's a creepy guy. And then on top of that, we're teaching women that it's less than virtuous to even smile at a man. You dare not speak to a man. You dare not say hello to a man. You know, if a man says hello to you, you dare not say hello back and smile. You're less than virtuous. And then we say, why is it that men are not approaching women? I submit to you that men are approaching all day long with honorable intentions, but we have twisted the social rules up so much that we say if a man speaks, he's disrespectful. He's getting out of the way with me.
Pastor explains why men don't approach women today. Highlights R.C. Blakes. Welcome to Manosphere Highlights Daily. Pastor R.C. Blakes Jr. gives 10 reasons why men don't approach women today. And what's interesting about his takes is that he comes from a religious perspective. We're going to show you some highlights and I'll chime in here and there. Find the link to the full video in the description. So without further ado, let's get this highlight reel started.
I'm getting a lot of email, a lot of DMs, a lot of questions. And one of the big concerns now is, with ladies is, why don't men approach me? Why is it that men today seem to not approach? And I hope that there's some guys in here today that can attest to some of the things that I'm going to share, because I want to kind of enlighten you relative to why it's a lot different today than it was, a couple of decades ago.
We certainly have men who can attest to that. Welcome to the Manosphere, which is why we bring you these highlights of Mr. Blake.
But one of the reasons that great guys, good guys, who would be great husbands or would make for great husbands, one of the main reasons they may be in your circle, may even have interest in you and not approach, is because they don't have their money right yet. In other words, their finances are not where they deem them necessary to be to afford you, to honor you, because a masculine man, listen to this very carefully, a masculine man takes his finances very seriously when it comes down to his relationship with a woman. A masculine man is not a man, a purely masculine man is not a man that's trying to go 50-50. And, I know a lot of you ladies say, oh, that's the way it should be. God bless you. If that's the way you think, do you. But, I'm teaching you what I've learned. The Bible says in 1 Timothy 5:8, but if any provide not for his own, and especially for those of his own house, he hath denied the faith and is worse than an infidel. For you so-called Christian brothers out here who, carrying these Bibles and telling these women the Bible says you should submit to me and you don't want a job, you need to go sit down somewhere.
Well, I have to agree with the pastor here. I mean, it's always been a traditional role for a man to be able to take care of himself, his wife, and children. So when you approach a woman, yes, you're expected to have that straight. However, in modern day society, women seem to look down on blue-collar workers that have a decent income. So just having money is not enough. But we'll get to that later.
Ultimate. Because, for me, for instance, if I'm broke, if I'm out here and I'm single and I'm broke, I promise you, I'm not trying to reach for a woman that would make wife material. Second reason, good guys, husband material, not these clowns out here, not the pickup artists that you all, call your type. And that's all it is. Most of y'all, when you start talking about your type is the pickup artist type, the kind that's going to take you and tell you a whole lot of stuff, bring you to a hotel and do whatever, and then disappear, ghost you. and then leave you traumatized. But a good man that would make a great husband, why is he not approaching? A lot of times, this guy is conservative, this guy is respectful, and he's afraid to offend you. Unfortunately, we live in a culture that says, watch this, listen to this very carefully because it's true. We live in a culture that says a man is a creep, a man is a pervert, he's a predator, even if he speaks to you. So if a man says, hello, you know, in a lot of cases, we have women who have been broken by men to the point now that, you know, you're offended that a man said hello. And then you'll pass by, you'll scowl at a man that says hello to you, and then you'll get on the phone with your girlfriends and you'll say, you know, nobody's approaching me. So we have, you know, women who are taught that it is less than virtuous. Watch this. We live in a culture that says a man is creepy if he even speaks. God forbid he looks at you.
Good point from the pastor. When he started talking about men being scared, masculine men are scared, I had to wait until he finished his point so I could properly respond. And then he starts talking about the culture of the times we live in today. You know that approaching a woman, just saying hello can be offensive, and that's not what you want, right? You don't fear the woman, but you fear the major consequences that come with unintentionally insulting a woman.
Proverbs 18:24 says, a man that hath friends must show himself friendly. Can I say to you, now you all know that it's like God has just given me daughters and sisters all around the world that I speak to and speak into the lives of. But can I tell you, there are a lot of you who are just not friendly. And it's going to be very difficult for a man to pursue you, when all he said was hi, and you looked at him and frowned at him and didn't even return the... So they are conservative, respectful, and afraid to offend. And women today are too often, too easily offended by men who are just simply saying, hello, how are you doing? Brother can only be shot down so many times. Number 3, why are men not approaching you? You're always surrounded by a pack of women or gay dudes. You're not individual enough to go anywhere by yourself. And the balance there, of course, is, I want you to always keep people involved in your life because it's just safe as a woman. But, you have to learn to be able to go places where it's clearly safe enough for you to do so by yourself. You can't always be surrounded by a pack of women just, talking and giggling and laughing. And, that can be one of the most intimidating settings in the world for a man that would be interested in you, to see you always encased by a group of women or a bunch of gay men.
A lot of women only have female friends and female influences. That's the bigger picture. Lack of male influences in their lives, like fathers, uncles, brothers that really care about them, and they can learn what a man is all about. And that's a problem. These women have the same mentality, the same playbook. That's why when you find these videos online, they always say the same things. And why? Because that's the only information they get and listen to. When you give them the male perspective, it's who hurt you? You must be gay. You can't get laid. All of those shaming tactics so they can keep feeling good about themselves.
Most women, number 4, why are guys not approaching? Most women don't know how to let a man know that it's safe to approach. He's not a pickup artist. He's not one of these guys that has a whole lot of smooth talking. and all of this kind of thing, and he can be shot down 15, 20 different times, and he'll just move from you to the next one. No, the kind of guy that you want to approach is a guy that's looking for a serious and sincere relationship. But most women have never been taught how to let a man know that it's safe for him to approach. Number 5, men don't approach because they've been embarrassed by a woman in the past, and there's some trauma there. You'd be amazed at how many men have been traumatized, good men who want a relationship with a woman, but have been traumatized by broken women who are addicted to clowns and crowns. A lot of times you have good men that don't approach because they've been embarrassed publicly by a woman in the past. The same women, listen to this very carefully, the same women that enable the behavior of toxic feminine men are often the same ones that destroy the souls of good guys.
This reminds me of this meme of single mothers dressing their kids like the men who left them. You treat other people exactly the way you do not want to be treated, and you transfer this behavior onto your kids. Women love to reject men. They go out just to reject men. But when the shoe is on the other foot, oh my goodness, they don't handle that very well. You cry when you get ghosted, but you are the inventor of the ghost.
And you all are doing it all of the time, not knowingly, not intentionally, but women are doing it all of the time. You are destroying good men. See, if you're not interested in a man, you don't have to destroy him. You are breaking this brother for the woman that, may be meant for him in the future. Come on now. Why are guys not approaching? His confidence is low because he knows he's not the type most women are checking for. He's not 6 feet. He's not 6'2". He doesn't have 6 figures a year. He doesn't have Giorgio Armani suits in his closet. He's not driving, the biggest Benz or the Beamer or the Bentley. And so because of social media and all of this stuff that women project as being, the standard for, a man that she might view as a potential, he knows that he's not that. And it kind of goes back to number 1. He's waiting to get his money right.
Well, it's no secret. Women have been telling us what they wanted for decades now. Tall, dark, and handsome. And now the 6 figures on top of it. We call it the 3 6s. It's something that's no secret. We're all aware of that. And that's why a man knows he has a smaller chance of success when he approaches a woman when he doesn't have these things.
Fact about it, I heard Chingy say this as well. Most masculine men that would make great providers and great leaders and great husbands and would be faithful are not necessarily the sexiest guys. They don't have time necessarily to be in the gym 2 or 3 times a day. They're not driving around through town with their sports cars and hair immaculate and all of this kind of thing, because they're usually visionary. They're working their careers, they're working their jobs, they're working their businesses, and they're very responsible men. And so they're not always the sexiest guys, but they are the manliest guys. And so many times women are rejecting these guys, and you're accepting the little feminine guy that has all of the Hollywood stuff, but he's all style, but he's no substance. And here's the weird thing. The type that most women say, I hope I don't get in trouble with this, but the type that most women say they want many of these women don't even meet those standards. You want a guy that has a washboard stomach. Well,
the foolishness. A lot of women are overweight and they have no problem asking for men that are in shape. Watch our video, Fat Women Explain Why Dating Sucks, and you will see that they are not looking for overweight men. They have the same unrealistic expectations that average and above looking women have. It's ridiculous.
Women every day are changing the rules. Men no longer have to approach, because today women are the aggressors. The toxic sisterhood is killing you all. Those of you ladies that are committed to, queen consciousness and, classical womanhood, I suppose we may call it, your toxic sisterhood is killing you, because while you're holding a certain standard, you have, 8 out of 10 of y'all, your sisters are out here running dudes down in these streets, running them down. Men don't even have to know how to rap no more. They don't even have to know how to have a conversation no more, because women are so aggressive.
Yes, we live in the end days, man. There's a lot of chaos. There's a lot of confusion, and traditional gender roles were clear. Men had a better understanding of what to do. It was clear. But in modern times, we don't know. And that's why it's not a surprise that men choose not to participate in this chaos and stop approaching women, because it's confusing and potentially dangerous. And that's exactly what the pastor emphasizes.
Number 8, some women present themselves as shallow and vain. And what happens is, society says, this is the way you dress, this is the way you carry yourself, and y'all following Instagram, and you all out here in these clubs, in these mirrors, taking these booty shots, putting these booty shots on Instagram, on social media, not realizing that you're attracting all of the clowns and crowns, you're attracting all of the one-night standers, and you're repelling the husband material. Every time you follow, you're just following what society is doing. You're presenting yourself as shallow and vain, and many of you are not, but you're a follower. You've not contacted your individuality enough to lead even your own life. And a woman that, watch this, leads with vanity will attract men that lead with vanity. All you'll attract are men that want you for sex.
Didn't we highlight this shit in the previous video? The foolishness of women who put beauty over substance. Check this out.
I don't know for what, because you literally have no information on anybody. Like, who the f are you? Like, you literally have how many followers? Who the f are you? You must be a fan, a very big one too.
Yeah, you're not good enough if you don't have enough followers. Women are looking for clout. So if you don't have enough followers, you can't even talk to them.
Fear of accusation. Fear of accusation. If there ever were a time that a queen conscious woman is going to have to know how to approve, number one, discern a man's spirit first of all, not just looking at a man for what he looks like, but discern his heart and then approve of his approach, it's now. Too many men are getting caught up in accusations. Some are going down rightfully. They've done some dirty, low-down things. But you have other brothers who are looking at this and they're saying, well, man, if I say hello, what could this mean for me legally? And the Bible says in Romans 14:16, let not then your good be evil spoken of. So you have some good men that would love to approach, but they're looking at all of the stuff that's going on and, how complicated and, the political correct thing and all of this kind of stuff. And a lot of these men don't even know how to circumvent all of this stuff. They're interested, but they got to sit back in the cut and wait for you to let them know without any doubt that it's cool for them to approach. And I saved this one for last so I could hit it and get out of here. They ain't approaching because a lot of these dudes are just gay. It's a gay explosion out here. And I mean, I'm just from a different school. This is a time and generation, speaking of being politically correct, that, everybody says there's nothing wrong with it. It's right. Even y'all up in the church trying to say it's right for a man to be with a man. So, I just stick over here with my wife and mind my business and go on about my business. I don't get involved in nobody else's stuff.
Sir, I don't know if you're saying this to please your female followers, but according to the statistics, the LGBT community is relatively small, with 5.6 adults identifying as part of the rainbow community. However, I could be wrong on this one. Fellas, let me know what you think in the comment section. Manosphere, we working. Protect yourself at all times. This video has officially been highlighted.